Women's football sucks, and this latest incident proves my point. Welcome back, guys, to Son of Scotland TV. We have some good news for the Spanish football women's team. The good news is they won the World Cup. The bad news is that nobody cares that they won the World Cup, and it has been completely overshadowed by a kiss. Like the Killers once said, it was only a kiss. A kiss can happen anytime, any place. A World Cup can only be won once every 4 years, but it is the kiss that is making grounds. It is the kiss that is getting traction in the World Cup. At this point, just over a week after it was won, feels irrelevant. Feels like it didn't even happen. So let's look at the incident. Let's look at what happened. So Spain won the Women's World Cup. Thank God for that. They beat England. They stopped England from winning some. So at least we don't need to sit and listen to the next 40 years of the English rambling on about how they won a trophy, even if it is a shit trophy that nobody cares about. However, after the match finished, we had the Spanish president, the president of Spanish football. He comes onto the pitch and he kisses the Spain forward Jenni Hermoso. He kisses her on the lips. That is how he embraces her. And then they all celebrate. Later on, there was a reaction to a live stream after the match, and Hermoso said she did not enjoy the kiss. The following day, after a bit of controversy, Rubiales issues an apology saying he is sorry for those who were offended. He was criticised fiercely by other footballers in the media, and even the Spanish Prime Minister was criticising him and calling him to step down over this. Look, the guys came out, the guys apologised. That should be the end of it. Yeah, he kissed her on the lips, but I mean, Jesus Christ, they were celebrating. It was like a heat of the moment thing. If Scotland won the World Cup, now this is how you know that women's football doesn't mean shit, and that women will always find a reason to moan and complain, and they just don't care about football. If they did, they would not be. This would not be made out to be a big deal. If Scotland won the World Cup and Steve Clarke grabbed John McGinn by the head and kissed him, would John McGinn be complaining? No. Fuck, if John McGinn won Scotland the World Cup, I'd kiss John McGinn. No one would care. Honestly, it would be glossed over. No one would give a shit. It would just be one of those things. And if John McGinn really didn't like it, he'd fucking handle it like a man. He would probably take it up with Steve Clarke, and then Steve Clarke would likely apologise. Now, that's what Luis Rubiales has done. He has apologised. Now, you can argue he was wrong, absolutely. We can all sit here and say he was wrong, he shouldn't have done that. She didn't ask to be kissed, therefore he shouldn't have done it. But like I said, they were celebrating. They just won the World fucking Cup. I'm sure his emotions got the better of him, and he planted one on her lips. That was his way of celebrating. Had this been done in the men's World Cup final, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have fucking cared. We've seen men celebrate before where they kiss and hug each other and whatnot, and nobody gives a shit. Honestly, nobody cares. But because this happened, and it happened to a man or a woman, it's getting made out to be a big deal. And the fact that this is being talked about for the past week and not Spain winning the World Cup just goes to show that the World Cup for women doesn't mean shit. Because if it did, they'd be talking about that, they'd be celebrating that, they wouldn't be talking about this stupid kiss. The guy has apologised. What more can he do? He can't rewind time, he can't build a time machine, jump back fucking in it, and give her a hug instead of giving her a kiss. He can't do that. All he can do is apologise. He has done that. And I think that should be the end of it. But it looks like he's going to have to step down because there's a lot of controversy going on, and apparently Spain could have to step out of all sorts of UEFA, FIFA competitions, which would see Spain pull out the national team of FIFA competitions and the club teams pull out of UEFA competitions. I can't believe it's actually going to get to that. So I imagine the Spanish president, Rubiales, will probably step down for the next couple of days. And why? Because he celebrated winning the World Cup by kissing someone? Like one little kiss winning the World Cup, and he has to step down now? Even though he's apologised. I would say if he didn't apologise, if she came out and says she didn't appreciate that, she didn't like it, and he didn't want to apologise, then I could see a case. I would say, yeah, you know what, that's fair enough, that's wrong. But the guy's came out, he said sorry, he's apologised, and still there's this witchcraft, this witch hunt against him to step down. It's like, get fucking over it. They won the World Cup. That's supposed to be the main talking point here, but it's not. You know, it's just embarrassing. I mean, the World Cup really for the women. Let's be honest, it doesn't mean shit. If the World Cup did mean shit, this wouldn't be getting talked about. Honestly, if England won the World Cup and Southgate came up and kissed Harry Kane, if Harry Kane scored the winning goal and Southgate came up and kissed Harry Kane, you know for a fact, none of you cunts, none of you losers would be fucking talking about this. None of you would want Southgate to step down or anything like that. You'd be too busy celebrating. You'd be too busy celebrating winning the World Cup. You'd probably think it's great, oh, two men kissing on TV, but because a man kisses a woman, he's making it out as if he's like, and apparently he could get done for sexual assault, really. I mean, it's not like he's went out in the street and, like, randomly assaulted this person. It was like a fucking heat-of-the-moment thing. He's obviously made a mistake, and we're going to punish this guy. We're going to potentially get him done, get him a criminal record, and demand that he steps down for his position. Why? Because he wanted to celebrate his country winning the World Cup. I mean, what a joke. You know, what a joke. Anyway, that's it. I mean, I've no interest in women's football. Fuck that. I'm not watching women's football. I mean, who cares? How does winning the World Cup? This is the biggest tournament you can win, and nobody cares about it. All they care about is getting this guy stepping down. It's an absolute embarrassment, man, honestly. Anyway, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.